Welcome to Sunshine Cathedral's Queer God Squad. It's Monday, September 29th, 2025. I am Bishop Darrell Watkins, the Senior Minister of the Sunshine Cathedral. With me today are Bishop Robert Griffin, my husband, Reverend Dr. Ann Atwell, not my husband, and Reverend Kevin Tisdall. We are the Queer God Squad. Visit sunshinecathedral.org to learn more about us.
Queer God Squad was created by Hotspots Happening Out to support our mission to explore the value of faith in the LGBTQ community. There is no streaming TV show like this in the entire world.
In 2025, we are celebrating the 40th anniversary of Hotspots magazine, with Queer News Tonight sharing over 11,000 stories and 11 million views so far in 2020. So far. Can we do that again? Sorry.
Not me having a stroke.
Just keep going.
No.
If you just keep going, then they'll edit out. So just keep going.
Gosh. In 2025, we are celebrating the 40th anniversary of Hotspots magazine, with Queer News Tonight sharing over 11,000 stories and 11 million views so far. In 2026, we will produce Pride Fort Lauderdale, Stonewall Pride in Wilton Manors, and Pride Fest Caribbean Festival.
We are the largest nonprofit LGBTQ media organization in America, and we encourage you to support our mission to inform, entertain, and educate our community and allies.
This is the Sunshine Cathedral perspective. From fundamentalism to freedom, Queer God Squad discusses Reverend Michael Gott's New Thought journey. Reverend Michael Gott is the senior minister at Unity of Houston, a large congregation in a large U.S. city.
A former fundamentalist, Gott is a well-known figure in New Thought spirituality for over 2 decades, initially gaining recognition as a musician and recording artist. He later became a Unity teacher and minister, and he was awarded an honorary doctorate from the Centers for Spiritual Living for his contributions to contemporary spiritual music.
Reverend Gott joined Unity of Houston in 2011 and became its senior minister in 2017. He is known for his passion for teaching New Thought principles and for his emotional, impactful speaking style.
Great! Someone was liberated from fundamentalism, became a progressive minister, and has had a thriving spiritual career. Is there anything else we should know about him? Oh yeah, he's gay.
New Thought denomination emphasizes the inherent goodness of all people and the inclusive nature of divine, which provides a theological framework for LGBTQ+ affirmation. This has led to an environment where LGBTQ people can not only be members, but also serve in leadership roles, including as ministers.
Sunshine Cathedral is a religious buffet line. We are high church and contemporary humanist, New Thought, interreligious, and progressive Christian. We're a queer divine science community church with multiple affiliations. This quote-unquote open at the top approach is inspired by and compatible with the principles of New Thought.
With MCC, UCC, Unitarian Universalist, Quakers, and Episcopalians around, and more recently some flavors of Lutheran, Presbyterian, and Methodist, New Thought is not the only spiritual space where queer leaders can be found, but it has historically been more affirming than many other religious traditions.
New Thought prioritizes personal spiritual experience and universal love over strict dogma and tradition. The Queer God Squad exists to help people experience new thoughts about religion, spirituality, and sexual wholeness.
The New Thought is not monolithic, and almost no philosophy is, but you could pretty safely boil it down to the omnipresence of God, that God is not a person, it's a presence, a power, a mind, a spirit, whatever, and that is everywhere, sort of an energy, presence, a power, and it's everywhere. And so that means it includes all things. So that's the omnipresence of a non-anthropomorphic divine reality. The second thing is because that is the one reality, we're all part of it, and so we are innately good. Our inherent dignity, value is sacred because we're part of the one thing that is everywhere, fully present. Everything has to be part of it, in it, from it. And so we're part of this thing, so that makes us innately good. And since God is everywhere, and we're part of God and we are good, we have the power to use our thoughts to form our attitudes that will make a difference in our lives. Attitude comes from our habitual thoughts, and our attitude is how we feel, and how we feel is how we experience life. So once you change the thinking, you change the feeling, and when you change the feeling, you change the experience. So that's just it. God is everywhere. We're part of God, and we can choose mindsets that make our lives better. It's not a get rich quick scheme. We can't promise you that we'll raise the dead or walk on water or even help your diet work. I mean, it's not any promise other than you are innately good. There's not a spot where God is not, and in some measurable way, by changing the way you look at things, you will change how you experience them. Things can be in some way better. That's New Thought. Now you can take that farther, and what some people have all these texts, and some people have all these prayer methods, and yeah, take it and run. But I think that's the core of it. And because of that is there's no shaming. We're all part of God. That includes gay people. We can all think positive thoughts about ourselves and live better lives. That includes gay people. So I think it's there's no hell because God is everywhere, so you can't get away from God. So that certainly appeals to gay people who have been told they're going to hell. And so I think that's why New Thought can be appealing. And I think that's why a lot of churches who aren't in the New Thought tradition, the Power of Positive Thinking, Peel, that church was a Reformed church, a Dutch Reformed church. But they embraced this ideology and was a thriving center on the east side of New York. So it's this New Thought is appealing to queer people because it's affirming, because it tells us that we're good. It tells us that we have agency. And we can change the way we think about things, which can make things better. They told us we were bad. We don't have to accept that thought. We can have a new thought and then come out and live happily as the people we are, and so on. So it doesn't surprise me that New Thought is attractive to queer people. I'm a queer person who promotes it. So that would surprise me. P.S. I wrote the story.
Oh.
Okay. And you know what? It was something that I think I had been seeking throughout my spiritual life, but didn't even realize it because I really didn't know what it was. I was raised in a mainline Protestant church, and that is not something that we really had, though we did use Norman Vincent Peale a bit. But to me, New Thought encourages deeper thought. It requires us to think beyond what we've been taught, our childhood or youth faith traditions, and bring it into, I don't know, maybe a more adult way of thinking.
I like that.
Yeah.
I think a piece of it for me is like, growing up, you have your foundation, you have your whatever you need as you grew up, if you grew up in church or even not church at all. And I think being exposed to New Thoughts helps one to redefine that foundational building in a way that allows them to let go of things that could have held them back or enrich what they already knew, but gave them a new way of saying it. Kind of a new vocabulary, if you will, or a new spiritual awakening to something that was very different than what you grew up with or what you learned even later in life. So I look at a lot of it as like, this is a new vocabulary for me to explore and feel good about exploring.
Right.
Growing up in a Northern African American Baptist church, I went to Sunday school at least 2 times a month, sometimes 3 times. And I always remember reading, come on now,
I was every Sunday, thank you.
Me too. My mother actually taught Sunday school.
What I remember is listening to the stories and wondering, are they true? I mean, is this something that I can really grasp? And it really took me into coming into a queer affirming church and then listening to a New Thought preacher talk about God in a completely different way, talk about our relationship with each other in a very different way before I began to understand New Thought theology, New Thought Christianity, New Thought way of living life, and accepting that things are happening the way they're supposed to. My life is moving forward, and with this New Thought Christianity, with this New Thought ability, I'm able to see things very, very differently than I did when I was that 10-year-old in Sunday school.
Yep.
Yeah, I love it's in the name, it's a new thought. You're thinking in new ways. Now, the philosophy is not new. You will find these concepts in the Bible. You'll find them in Greek philosophy. You'll find them in Buddhism and Taoism. You'll find them in quantum physics. You'll find them in contemporary psychology. So this is really just a a synthesis of ancient wisdom. This is the perennial wisdom said a new vocabulary, one more way. And it's about our thinking in new ways for us. It's not about coming up with brand new ideas. Ecclesiastes says there's nothing new under the sun. So this isn't like a new discovery. This is our using old, ancient truths to create a new experience of life for ourselves. And that, of course, appeals to queer people as much as anybody else.
All right.
And that's today with the Queer God Squad.
Before we go, I want to invite you to check out our Performing Arts series. Yes, the season is upon us. Sunshine Cathedral Center for the Performing Arts has a great acts lined up for 2025 and 2026 season. Here is a taste of what is coming up.
Golden Ghouls. Picture it. Halloween 2025 will be on our stage one night only, October 25th.
Then on November 7th, we welcome back Miss Coco Peru and Fuck This Shit. If this show is like her other tour de force, there will be storytelling, laughs, singing, and a moral tie up for the evening. Or maybe this is one entirely different. You'll have to come to the show to know for sure. But you already know it's going to be one of the best nights of the comedy and drag artistry you will ever have enjoyed all year.
December 7th brings Matthew Darren's annual holiday Fantasia, always amazing, and this year it will again be co-hosted by Varla Jean Merman.
And in 2026, there are already some great shows lined up, such as selections from Pearly, a musical based on the play Pearly Victorious by Ossie Davis on February the 7th. For more information about these shows and others, and to secure your tickets, go to sunshinecathedral.org/arts.
Please like and share this episode on your social media and look for Sunshine Cathedral on Facebook or Instagram.
You can also like our individual pages on Facebook. Remember to visit sunshinecathedral.org frequently. That way you will find Bishop Talk, where Bishop Darrell and I interview queer religious leaders, activists, and scholars.
Thank you for joining the Queer God Squad today. We are here daily at 3 p.m. to have some fun and to discuss what our LGBTQ community is talking about.
Sunshine Cathedral is the world's leading progressive queer church. Progressive, queer, and God are words that naturally should go together. Remember that we're all in this together, and also remember that you are God's miracle, not God's mistake. Until next time, we are the Queer God Squad.